All right, y'all. Let's get started.
Hey, guys.
We in the building. I forget where I'm looking.
Yeah, no.
We in the building today. Make sure you turn that down.
Yep.
Yeah, let's get it. Hold on. Wait till we join people into the conversation. Today we're going to do something different today. We're going to do live calls.
Yes,
so,
we will. This is exciting.
Yeah, because, you know, a lot of people are dealing with these issues with damaged people, them being damaged themselves. We're going to get into all these things of how you can avoid it, how to know when it's too much damage, how to know, okay, I could deal with this damage, how to spot all this stuff.
Yeah.
Teaching a kid, we're going to get into all of that. So we're going to wait until people get on here, and then we're going to get started. Hold on, make sure. Let me make sure. Let me get my tea, because this is going to be a good one.
Not to mention we have notes today, so if we're looking down or to the side, we have an outline.
I said, don't mention that. Yeah, we're going to wait. Well, I don't care. Do what you do no matter what they say. You know what I'm saying? When you listen to everybody else, you're never going to get it right. You know what I'm saying? Definitely.
Okay, so I'm waiting here.
Yeah, we waiting. We see y'all. What's up? What's up? What's it? Cap, Tamara, T. What's up? Yeah, let's get this. Let's talk about some stuff today. And today we're going to be accepting live callers. So normally a lot of y'all putting these big stories in the feed and we can't keep up with them.
Right.
So today, if you want to join in or add something to the conversation, or you got a little bit something different to add, sticking to the conversation. Let me calling me asking me, yo, coach, what's the best water to drink? Because I'm going to bang on you. All right, this is going to happen. So, and I know somebody's. I hope nobody does that. But I don't. You know, just letting you know that if it happens, bang. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for the background pictures comment, guys.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is not exclusive. This is not exclusive to relationships. This is just people in general. So, say if you have a friend damaged, say if you are damaged, how to get out of being damaged, how to heal yourself, because you can heal yourself by looking at you on a spiritual perspective. You can heal yourself on a mental perspective, but you must get that spirit right, because normally when somebody is damaged for a long time, your spirit is broken. So we got to heal that spirit. That subconscious is broken. Yes. We got to hear that subconscious. All right, so we're going to get into that today.
And we're going to give you guys telltale signs as to what a damaged person looks like.
And make sure you speak up, because you kind of low.
I'm low?
I'm looking at the volume.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at the volume, and because the mic's down here.
Sorry.
So we can hear everybody's calls. But yeah. Just make
now,
sure.
I was pretty much
there you go.
We're gonna tell you guys about the telltale signs of what to look for in a damaged person, because they do have these attributes that you can tell easily.
So yeah, that was the answer to the question. Pizza slice.
Pizza slice, huh?
That's the name.
I don't want to.
That's the name.
That's cute though.
That's the name. Somebody. Hey, listen, hey TC, that's that MACA. Y'all don't believe.
I know.
Y'all been following me for months before I started MACA, and y'all see after I started MACA, and I wasn't lying. I mean, you don't fast. I do it while fasting. This is a you don't fast. My old you don't fast shirts I used to sell when I owned my gym and all that stuff. When I was talking about that a long time ago. But you don't fast. You don't fast while you're doing MACA. MACA is great for HGH. I wasn't lying. Y'all thought I was playing games. I'm not playing.
They put the website in the.
Yeah, put the web. What you gonna do? Put the website? No. Do this right here. Do the this part here. Look. Hey, look. It's our website is in the description, but I guess I'll put it in here. Always start off like that, and then you do. Let's see. Then there you go. Oh. Damn it, I messed up. Take that out. Take that out. Remove that. You can. Well, it's right there.
Okay, got it.
It's right there.
Just in case some people see this right there and they still ask what's the website. Okay.
I got you. Yeah, T. You know, try to be a living example. What we're talking about. A lot of owners, a lot of companies that you never see. They probably don't try none of their supplements.
Right.
I am a customer for my line, so if I'm talking about it, 9 times out of 10 it's gonna work. And I just tell you what to do to make it work. And if you don't believe me, you don't believe me. But if you look at my reviews now, you can try it and you can see for yourself, because everybody's tried our products and we see that I don't bring nothing but the best. So wait till what's coming next and next and next, because I already got them lined up.
Right.
You know, and I'll say no more.
Hey guys, we're waiting for the room to fill up even more.
Yeah, we're waiting for the room. You know, so if you're watching this video afterwards, just scroll like 5 minutes, something like that. You know.
But we don't want to wait too long, though. We don't want to like too.
No, we don't wait too long, but we're gonna give y'all some time. Maybe like a couple more, maybe 30 more seconds.
30 more seconds, then we're gonna start.
Yeah, definitely. Also, we're gonna start coming out with some tank tops. We know a lot of y'all like to go to the gym, so we're gonna come out with some tank tops, nutritional everything tank tops, or thoughts become things tank top. Our new thoughts become things design.
Right.
So y'all be seeing that soon as well.
And
all right.
don't forget to talk about the deals.
Oh yeah, today's free shipping. Talk about that.
Free shipping today, guys.
Yeah, today's free shipping.
Jump on it.
Yeah, website's right there, right there below me. Free shipping's right there. You can stream this from the website if you want, or you can stream this from YouTube. But obviously, go to Chrome Alerts.
Yep.
Go right to the website. All right.
All right.
Ready?
Let's go.
All right, let's get this started. All right, so check this, right? So we're going to be taking calls in about maybe 15, 20 minutes or whatever when we really get into the juice. Because I know a lot of y'all got stories that you want to elaborate on, or maybe you want us to elaborate on, or just want to share it with us and let us know what you did when you were dealing with a damaged person. And soon I'm going to be putting the number of the number that you should call in, and everybody's going to be able to hear you.
Right.
So don't be sitting here getting nervous and nothing like that.
This is a no judgment zone, okay? We all being transparent, so be comfortable in the story that you're telling.
All right, so check this, right? People are damaged. People are fucked up.
Tell me about it.
People are damaged on some next level.
Not only everybody else, but us too.
Yeah, I'm damaged. Everybody has baggage. But you got to be willing to be able to see that baggage so you don't have to worry about dealing with that baggage. Now, when you have psychological damage, what is that?
Okay, now the meaning of psychological damage or emotional damage, it's basically when it results... Sorry, let me start over.
Oh boy.
Emotional damage can occur as a result of mental illness, trauma, or a combination of both factors. It impairs a person's ability to form relationships and handle everyday stressors.
All right. So, okay. So the first kind of damage we're going to get into today is the psychological damage, because we have a lot of people seeming to be dealing with a lot of psychological damage.
And emotional damage as well.
All that stuff. All right. Now, I was talking to a couple guys this week, and their women are crazy, like crazy.
But before we get into that, we should tell the signs of the damage as well.
That's your part. I'm gonna talk about my part.
Before he gets into that, we're gonna tell you the telltale signs of a damaged partner. Now, they have trust issues, they have low self-esteem, anger and aggression, as well as self-destructive behavior. Now, I'll go into that.
Anyway, okay. So she right. All right, Pat.
Yes, those are the signs you have to look for.
I'm talking to these guys, and their women are crazy. Now, one of them was married to her for 15 years. And I guess you get to a point where you kind of ignore signs from people that kind of show you who they are. But we kind of ignore them. We want them to change. So we literally just let them be until we get to the point where we're all invested with the person. We're married to the person. Right. And then we're like, damn, yo, this chick is crazy. Or he is crazy or whatever. I think that it starts before you get with the person to know what to look for. Because, see, here's the thing. Unless you get with somebody and marry them in a couple weeks, you get to know a person where you understand by asking the right questions what kind of damage they have, what kind of trauma they have went through in their life. Now, a lot of psychological issues come from trauma as children. It starts. A lot of us weren't born with balance. We weren't born with stability. A lot of us were poor. A lot of us were born in single-parent households. Yes. A lot of us may have been beat. A lot of us may have been done dirty. Some of us might have even been molested. These things, can affect you later in life. Right. Where you're going to even show this stuff to your kids. Now, the thing that I always try to tell my sons, listen, even at this age, I try to, get this in their head. If this such and such is such and such, then, cut them. I'll give you an example. So say if you got a woman who has dealt with multiple men, multiple men before she got with you, do you deal with her? The answer that I'm going to give my sons is no, you do not deal with her. Because why? Because I understand what happens when a man puts his DNA inside of a woman. She has all these spirits running around in her where she is acting out the things the men do. So, normally, a lot of these women that are very promiscuous are out here letting these men come all up in them, and then they get this good man, but they don't know it's good because they've dealt with all these bad men, and they get a good man, and they don't know what the hell to do with these good men. Psychologically, she's only comfortable with chaos because that's all she's been shown. Psychologically, she's only comfortable with instability. That's all she's been shown. Psychologically, she's only comfortable with being in arguments because that's all she's seen.
Right.
So when she gets with a good man, one of my sons, she is going to try to bring what's comfortable to her back. Because if she has a stable man and a man who doesn't like to argue, like to explain things, she's not comfortable with that. Psychologically, she's damaged. She only can see one thing or one kind of relationship. So she may say she wants a good man, but when she gets one, she don't know what the hell to do with him until she turns him into a bad man and then bring her psychological damage on him, and she'll mess around and damage him for his next relationship. And that's how certain things that it works. Go ahead.
No, I was going to give my example as to what happened to me. I was dealing with a man who cheated on me numerous times. So, you know, when I got with, after his situation, I didn't want to trust anybody. I have trust issues now because of that.
Yeah, she does.
What I'm saying? So, you know, like, he used to be texting other people. So if I see, you know, my current, in current relationships after that, people are texting, I'm going to think, okay, is he cheating? Is he cheating? Is he doing this? You see what I'm saying? So I get that.
Or the other way around,
that too.
Where, say, the man has always done dirt to other females, and then he thinks that the karma's going to come back on him, and he's going to think she's always going to cheat on him. Psychological damage. Now, before you get with a person, you should always ask them very, very important questions, such as, how many men have you been with?
Or how many women?
How many women, or whatever. How many partners have you had? You know, I think it's even more prevalent for the men to ask the women that, because you need to know how many spirits you got up in that body of yours.
Yes.
Because sometimes a lot of women won't even realize why they're acting like that, and then you mess around and ask her questions. 9 times out of 10, her previous is that's one thing, but 9 times out of 10, her previous men have acted like that as well, and she's taking on the spirit and the characteristics of that man. Now, on the other side, what she said, asking the men, you should ask the men, because here's the thing with psychological damage with men and being with a lot of women. Right. When you're a man and you're with a lot of women, you're psychologically damaged because you're used to having a lot of women. And you're also used to having variety. And then you try to get into a monogamous relationship, and it becomes very, very hard because psychologically you have trained your mind to be with numerous women. So when you get with this one woman, you're like, yo, I need more women now. But you've been whoremongering for so long, you know, then you're like, yo, I shouldn't have got married. And a lot of y'all men, because you've been with a lot of women, you can't get married because, you know, you have already experienced whoremongering, because, you know, polygamy is all, that's not polygyny. That's called whoremongering, dealing with a bunch of women that you aren't committed nor married to. So when you're psychologically damaged in a case that you pretty much can't be with one because you've already been with different, and you would like, and most men like variety. It just is what it is.
And I know, you know, a lot of men who have been whoremongers would try to find the one and tell that person, hey, I'm done with all my, you know, numerous women. I just want to settle down with one woman. It's very, very difficult for her to have to trust him, because eventually he's going to find himself wanting those other women.
Yeah, he's gonna find that. Now, somebody said, yo, but they ain't gonna tell the truth. All right, this is what I always do, right? This is what some old head told me. He said, take the women's head count she gives you and multiply it by 3. By 3 times. She says 6 is probably 18. Just 18 is triple.
Oh, wow.
Times it by 3 when you, listen, women in this day and time, times it by 6.
I don't blame you.
But not for real though, like, you got to always times it, because women already know they don't want to tell you their true partners. A lot of them don't want it. They're embarrassed. Maybe they were a succubus before and they changed their ways, and they don't want to reveal that to you. That's why you never commit to a person till you truly know who this person is here. I mean, a lot of y'all you know, you're so attracted to the way the body looks, you forget about the mind. And then until the body is gone, until the physical attraction is gone, you got to have an actual conversation, and you kind of find out that you married damn Freddy versus Jason. You understand? You married freaking the Bride of Chucky. Like these things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you married a damn serial killer inside of your house. But now you married to this person, you got kids with this person, and the kids are actually seeing this, so now the cycle continues, because now either if you're not with the person, now your children are being raised in a single parent household or a household that has multiple families in it. Like, you know, mommy got a daddy, mommy got a husband, daddy got a wife, you know, these things like that. Because psychologically you were not able to choose beyond the lust that you have for this woman and differentiate from that from actual love and commitment and really building a partnership with this person.
Yeah.
You understand? Got anything to add to that?
No, I'm just...
People say I don't let you talk, so I'm gonna let you talk now. People say it all the time.
Hey, I understand. Hey,
you know what I mean?
I'm just gonna
maybe I'm damaged.
Maybe I'm damaged.
I know I'm gonna get to my damage, but you got it. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna also say, you know, one of the things that, you know, I'm just gonna talk about another reason why I'm damaged.
Go ahead, yeah.
The fact that I was not, you know, a lot of women tend to be damaged because they have not been raised in their pivotal years by a father figure.
Oof.
To help them, especially, you know, look for, you know, a good partner.
So what do they normally find because they didn't have a father?
Honestly, I feel like, you know, a lot of these guys tend to take advantage of women who don't have a father. They tend to look for men who are bums to them, technically.
A woman's first love is her father.
Yeah.
Right? A woman's first example as a man is her father.
They don't know how to choose.
So if that man is not there, she's going to be searching for another example.
Yep.
And normally the first guy she finds is probably going to be that example. And if he's a guy, normally young, horny, you know, incubus, you know, that gives her this DNA in her, now she's kind of already started off on the wrong track. Because the first heartbreak she ever had was her daddy. All right.
Yeah.
So, and the second thing was she found another guy that put the wrong morals into her, and now she starts off in the wrong track. A lot of women who are very promiscuous normally had daddy issues. And a lot of men who don't have respect for women normally have mommy issues, because there's no stronger tie than a kid to his mother. The maternal tie. So when the mother doesn't let you down, this is what I'm really, really worried about with my sons. When the mother lets you down at such a young age before you can even process it, it's trauma. It's real live trauma. It's trauma. What my kids are dealing with is abandonment, and I'm trying to really show them, and she's trying to show them what a woman can be, but there's no tie stronger than the actual mother to a young son or to a young daughter. You know, a mother, the baby sat in her for 9 months, you know, and boom, you're gone. That's
the first level of connection.
Exactly. And then when you have a disconnect, you're going to probably have a disconnect for women in general, because you have an inner hatred for your mother. And a lot of guys wind up dating somebody that reminds them of their mom if their mom was a good mom, and a lot of females wind up dating somebody that reminds them of their dad if it's a good dad. So imagine if it's the other way around. Right. You wind up dating somebody that is not like your dad, or what you think is like your dad, or not like your dad, because your dad did you dirty. You think somebody does you dirty. You're looking for that. You don't even realize what you're doing. And the man is not respecting women because his mom didn't have respect for him. He probably had hatred for his mom, and now he's out here shitting on women, destroying all these kind of souls because he is damaged. And that's real stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always say, you know, when you have children or something like that, you got to really teach them what to look for, because you can be saving your genome by who they choose. Because I didn't have the right upbringing as far as how to choose a woman, I literally was out here just whatever, willy-nilly. You know, the one thing, you know, my dad said to me about women is what she looked like. That's it. You know, I had 2, 3, 4 girlfriends in high school, middle school at the same time. I thought that was cool. All the guys looked up to me. But that was psychologically damaging me for the long run, because now relationships were always a problem as I got older because I was never taught how to properly actually treat a woman. Now I know how to treat a woman after all these freaking years, after all these women I broke their hearts. But it took so long. It could have been, you know, it could have been killed a long time ago if I was taught how to treat a woman. And psychologically, that can damage you if you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how. You just letting your dick follow you. You know, you're just out here just wilding. And that's what I was doing when I was in my teens and my 20s. Especially after I got my first. Oh, after that it was over. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
No, and another thing too, I've realized that, you know, some women, especially when they're looking for that father figure, they tend to give themselves too much to, you know, bad men or the wrong men. Way too much. So that when they actually do get the right man, they're kind of like, you know, too hurt and too damaged to give that right man all of themselves, especially their husband.
Because so pretty much you're saying that these women have fear of giving themselves because of hurt they have experienced before.
Yes, pretty much.
That's
if you give you too much of yourself and you got hurt because of it, why would you want to you know, continue giving yourself to the next man? Absolutely.
Why would you do that? And you can call in if y'all want to. It's right at the top, you know, 929-399-5771 if you want to call in and be a part of this conversation, because we really going to get into it tonight. Now, a lot of people, when you're married to somebody, when is enough to be able to say, I cannot work with this person anymore? Because when it comes down to it, everybody has baggage. Everybody has issues when you come into anything. There's nobody that comes into a relationship that's perfect at all. So when you get into a relationship, when do you say enough is enough, or when do you say I can actually fix this person? And what steps do you take? Go.
All right, the first one is if you're more unhappy than actually happy. Okay? A healthy relationship should bring more happiness than pain. Number two, if you don't have boundaries. Not setting boundaries allow a person to mistreat you, often resulting in resentful behavior towards them. Now, if you're feeling taken advantage of, that's a telltale sign that it's not going well.
Now, here's the thing, right? There's a thing called, there's a thing called energy. And when you're committed to somebody, you give them your energy. You give them your life force to sustain the relationship.
Right.
But if somebody's damaged and they don't know what you're giving them is something that they're supposed to also give you, then they're going to suck the energy out of you. They're going to kill your spirit. They're going to damage you by taking all your life force and putting it into them and not even understanding what you're doing, because these people had no teachings of how to even do it or what a proper relationship should be. It should be both ways. If I'm doing something for you, do something for me, and we should both come together. But if I'm doing everything for you, everything for this household, then it's going to damage that person that's giving everything. And then by the time the person sucked dry, sometimes a lot of people don't even know that they're sucking somebody dry. They're just doing it subconsciously because they have never been taught what a relationship is. So these questions you need to ask somebody, like, how many relationships have you been in? What is your longest relationship you ever been in?
And how it ended.
And how did it end? Because, you know, if you talk to a female, like, well, he did this, he did that.
That's very true.
And but if things start to add up, like, okay, you've been in all these relationships and all these guys did this. So that means something about you, because the common denominator in everything is you, and vice versa.
I know nobody wants to take accountability for their actions in you know, failed relationships, but sometimes you got to look from within yourself to figure out, okay, what happened?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Now, somebody was asking, you know, how does one tell if they're still dealing with daddy issues? I think that's daddy issues and mommy issues is something that you will be dealing with for a very long time, maybe for the rest of your life. You know, I don't think anybody can actually fully get rid of it totally. You see what I'm saying? Unless they're actually taking, you know, the steps to developing themselves or developing their minds.
Well, first they have to come to a point where they admit it. See, the problem with some people is they don't self-evaluate.
Right.
People are very afraid to have an uncomfortable conversation with themselves. Like, if the person says, yo, you keep on doing this, yo, you messed up in the head, and you're like, no, I'm not,
Yeah.
Then you're never going to be able to look at yourself, and you're going to damage somebody else because you refuse to take a self-evaluation of yourself.
Yes.
So it starts with taking a self. The person must be willing to see where the problem is and to be willing to change. But they have to first say it's a problem. Yeah. Some people that are damaged are so damaged, they will not think it's their fault. They'll think it's everybody else's fault.
But that's narcissistic. That's a narcissistic attribute that people can develop.
That's another damage. That's another damage quality. Well. That's another damage quality right there, being narcissistic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely being narcissistic is definitely a damage quality.
And somebody asked if it's U.S. calls only. Yeah.
No, you can call the number. I don't know. I mean, if you want to call a number from another country, I can pick the phone up wherever you call from. I mean, that's up to you. You know, so
that's a good question.
You know, what's up?
Mr. Intensity, how long would you generally wait until you decide to officially commit to somebody and even have sex?
Okay, so I'm the wrong person to ask.
Okay.
Because let me answer this question. Is Mr. Intensity Mr. Intensity?
Mr. Intensity.
Okay, let me answer this and you give your thing.
Yes,
okay.
My
okay, so as far as sex, I mean, I like test driving vehicles. So that's the wrong question. But to commit to that person, that's a different. I liked to do that a lot. Test drive vehicles. Right. But to commit to somebody is, are you worth committing to?
Right.
You have to find out the character of a person. Little things like, remember back in the day, they say like, yo, do the door test. If y'all know what the door test is you get in your car. You know what I'm saying? Well, actually, you open the car for the woman. You let her sit in the car, and you lock your driver door. You walk around the back and you look to see if she will open the door, unlock the door for you. And normally we have high-tech cars where she can just push a lock, which it takes even less effort. Mm-hmm. So if she doesn't do that, that means they say back in the day she's a selfish woman and get rid of her right now. That's one of the old school ones. Y'all seen Bronx Tale? Yes. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Cologeno. Remember that?
Do that to me.
Yeah. Did you fail? You passed? Okay. So yeah, like you gotta see how a person treats their family, how a person treats their mother, treats their father,
or their exes,
or their
what they say about their exes.
Well, you gotta see how many situations that was. Like if it's one, okay, but it's like 6 and it's all the same thing. Like they all cheated on you. Yeah. What about you make these guys want to be with another woman?
Right.
There's something about you that you weren't doing that made these men constantly step out on you. So you got to ask them real life questions, but you always have to see how a person interacts with their parents. If they out here cursing, disrespecting their parents, well, damn, they're gonna disrespect you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, okay, somebody had asked. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. When it came to me, giving it up to Mr. Intensity, due to the fact that, I've been hurt so many times before, I gave him a little bit of time to work for it. Because, a lot of people, because they think, all men want to do is just have sex with you, obviously. And they thought I was, easy catch to get with. So, therefore, I used to put everybody through the ringers. No, but, for me to commit to somebody,
so what you used to do back in the day is you used to make them wait to see, and a lot, and you said a lot just like whatever, you out of here because you wanted in 2 seconds, and the one in the I don't know, the guy that you were with for all them years, he worked for, but he didn't know how to treat you when he got you.
He didn't know how to treat me at all. He ended up cheating on me anyway.
Okay, there you go. So, and you got to ask a woman, like, if she's been, or ask a man, if you're always, cheating on a woman, you should ask the man, like, okay, what did these women do? What did they lack? Because it's always a reason why a man cheats. Always. Okay? Now, especially if a man's, in a relationship, there's always a reason why a man cheats. Yes, men do always want another woman, but to make him actually commit the act is a whole different ball game. Because if we know it's wrong and we still do it, we're always going to want. But to do is a reason why we actually stepped over that line and we did it. There was always a reason. If I did it, there was always a reason why I did it. What somebody wasn't doing, what somebody wasn't, So you always got to realize, when you get with a person, you got to think about 10, 20 years down the line. Let me give you an example. If a woman is damaged mentally, a lot of times they don't eat right. Now, I'm really good and I'm really heavy in nutrition.
Right.
I think 3-dimensional. I have the gift of foresight. Right. So my thing is, I would never marry somebody who wouldn't take care of herself, because the way you eat is the way your mental operates. And if you eat like shit, your mental is not going to function in a way where it can grow, because your body is still held back by the things you actually consume. So I call damage as body damage, not just mental damage, body damage. Like some of y'all see these women or these men, and they may look a certain way at a young age, but their habits are not good, and their metabolism's still fast, so it hasn't caught up to them. But me, or as a man or as a woman, you should think about, if this person keeps these habits up, will I be able to deal with that? Because they're going to damage themselves in the end run anyway if they keep that up. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
No, somebody was asking, how do you heal from a damaged past relationship?
How do you heal?
Yes.
Don't jump into another one.
That's one thing. People tend to jump into the relationships and they don't get a chance to heal, and they end up hurting the other person that they've been with, that they're currently with.
Mm-hmm.
So, just like Mr. In10sity said, don't just jump into any relationship after that.
Yeah. So when it comes down to it, if you are damaged and you're out of a relationship, right? And you literally are developing a pattern of jumping out, jumping in, jumping out, jumping in, jumping out, jumping in. What are you forgetting to worry about when you're jumping out, jumping in? Yourself. So when you're not looking at yourself, you're not realizing, you're not evaluating the last relationship, what you did or the other person did to make this relationship properly end. What did I do to make this end? Because once you realize that everything in the end is your fault, because your life is the total sum of all your decisions, you get into a mindset where you take more accountability for all your actions. Like, listen, there was something I could have done to prevent this situation from happening. Whether this woman was crazy as hell and you decide to leave, if I didn't choose this woman, I wouldn't have to deal with this crazy situation. So technically it was your fault, or vice versa as well. I speak from a man perspective because I'm a man, and she'll speak from a woman's perspective because she's a woman. I don't want to make it seem like I'm attacking all the women or whatever. I'm not. I'm speaking from a man perspective because I'm a man. So just so y'all can understand. Oh shit, hold on. Yeah, I'm good. Go ahead.
Yeah, pretty much. You sure you're good?
Go ahead, I'm good. Go ahead up. I got a Charlie horse.
Oh, okay.
I play too much basketball today.
That
shit hit me, yo.
When you play too much ball, I told you.
That Charlie horse said, go ahead. You good. Go ahead, talk.
Yeah.
They say, I'll let you talk because you got the floor now. So I'm stretching.
No, okay. Like we were saying, I remember in the past when I tried to, jump into other relationships, I tend to still be unhappy. You create an unhappiness within yourself and a depression within yourself when you continuously, it's like you're trying to fill a void. When you're trying to continuously...
I'm reading the messages though, go ahead.
Continually jump into these relationships. Okay? Like Mr. In10sity said, look within yourself. Now, we have an opportunity for you guys to call in.
They see it.
Yeah, you guys have an opportunity to call in. Let us know what your thoughts is, what your experiences are, so that we can expand on that. Yeah. How can you? Oh, somebody asked, can you help daughters that have been abandoned find a good partner? Huh?
They have to develop trust again. Let me give you an example. Okay, let me give you an example. That shit, woo! That shit was, woo! I was sweat. Hell yeah, that shit hurt. Y'all know about Charlie horses. Y'all athletic. I played basketball today, and I wasn't supposed to. And I got like a Charlie horse before this video. I drank some coconut water, drank some water, got some tea here, and I still got a Charlie horse. You know the struggle. You know the struggle. But all right. So okay. What was the question again?
What was the question? Gosh, I lost it.
How do you, with a girl's abandoned, right?
Yes. How can you help daughters that have been abandoned find a good partner?
She has to know what to choose from. She has to deal with a man, and she has to be really protective over her heart because she's already been abandoned. So she doesn't want to be quick to give up the panties. A lot of women are out here trying to think you give a man your panties and you're gonna get some love.
No, that's the worst thing you can do. A lot of women tend to give the panties and the men end up leaving them, and guess what? You hurt again.
Yeah.
You hurt once again, and you feel bad because that's another notch in your belt that you shouldn't have done in the first place.
But the thing is, sometimes when people are abandoned, they lose respect for themselves. They don't like somebody said they have low self-esteem.
Low self-esteem.
Now, when it comes down to it, y'all, when she has low self-esteem, her bar for a man will significantly drop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It will drop. So basically, when it comes down to it, she'll choose from basically who you are. So when you choose a spouse or a partner, you choose based off of how you think about yourself.
Yes.
Like you ever like okay, I was reading this book today, right? And it's probably one of the greatest books I ever read in my life. It's great. It's actually better than Think and Grow Rich. I'm going to share with y'all soon. But this book said, if you really want to know how somebody truly feels about themselves, look at their bank account. Look at their bank account, and then look at their spending, what they spend their money on. Mm-hmm. Now, when you want to know if somebody has self-esteem, look at the partner they actually choose. Now, back in the day, when I had low self-esteem, I used to choose partners that reflected off of how I truly felt about myself because I was damaged. I had been so low that I didn't think I deserved somebody that was higher standard. So what I did was I dropped my bar of what to choose from because that's all I thought I could get. You feel me? That's real rap. So when I think I can get something, I'm like, I don't even want to talk to her because I don't got nothing to offer her.
I can see that.
And then I choose somebody that is nothing like people they'll look at me with this woman and they're like, why the hell is he with her? What the hell? She must be sucking some good dick or she must be paying all his bills. And it was one of those. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to it, you choose who you think you are or who you think you deserve truly. So if you're a woman or you're a man and you have low self-esteem, you should not be with anybody right now until you build that back up in yourself so you can go out there and literally have some standards.
Yeah, find yourself. Take time for yourself. Love yourself. Learn to love yourself. A lot of people are getting into these relationships and they don't even know how to love themselves. How could you love somebody if you don't love yourself? You see, and can you tell them the steps to take to love yourself?
Okay, well, I mean, like I say, I use this law of attraction. You have to start to find out who you are.
Yeah.
You have to start find out what you like. You have to start, hobbies. You have to start like these things. What I did in the beginning of Program My Subconscious, I used to write like these 20 things down on the wall, and I used to be like, everything that I accomplished in my previous life, like the past or whatever. I used to write all these things down that I accomplished, and I say, I am a great mechanic. I am a great student. I am a great basketball player. You have to convince yourself that you're great again, because when you have low self-esteem, you don't think you're great at all. So your subconscious totally believes what you tell it all the time. And you're like, well, I'm lazy. It's hard. I can't do this. I don't know if I should get this. I don't know if I should get this girl. I don't know. She going to say no. You're basically doing the reverse steps. You're doing them backward, though. You're basically telling yourself what you aren't when you should be telling yourself what you are.
Right.
And the whole thing, fake it till you make it. If you don't believe it, you have to fake it until you actually believe it. And it worked for me because now I have high self-esteem. I don't accept no bullshit from anybody. Back in the day, I used to accept bullshit. Yeah. People used to walk all over me, take advantage of me, and these things. And now, because of my self-esteem, my confidence is so high, not cocky, not conceited. It's just high, and it's okay to have a high confidence about yourself, no matter who calls you what. It's how I feel about myself. Kiss my ass. These things like that. You gotta, not saying that, but that's what I would say. You ain't gonna step over me. It's just not happening. If you're somebody who I'm working with and you're doing me dirty, you're out of here. Yeah. You're gone. You gotta set boundaries all over. You gotta put a bubble. And if you cross that bubble, you get them out of your life.
Right. And
if they cross your bubble, you get them out of your life.
It's gonna take steps to get to that level.
Yeah.
So take it one step at a time.
And this is how you start to heal the damaged things within yourself. Now, for some people, this will resonate. For some people, it won't resonate. I don't give a fuck. Because I know that I'm helping somebody out there. I don't care if it's one person who's watching this whole entire stream. I know A lot of people out here is damaged to the core, to the core. Now, when you're married, right, and you're with somebody for like 2 years, and you know how you get with a person, and they show you the representative. Like, how do you find out who's damaged that's been hiding their damage? Like, they know they're damaged, and they're hiding. They have shown a good representative that they're hiding their damage. They're hiding it. So how do you find out if they're hiding it, and then you're like, yo, they hid it. I didn't know this person was like that. There's things that you can tell.
It shows up in red flags.
It shows up.
Yes.
You have to really, like, you're talking about your life here.
Yeah.
You're talking about your time here. You're talking about your genes here, your babies, your kids. You have to be very cautious, black man, for who you give your seed. You understand? You must protect your seed at all costs. Because they got a place for you, don't protect your seed. That's called child support. I know none of y'all niggas want to go for child support. Because child support is a bitch. You feel me? You get with a woman, you know what I mean? And you know, after she had a baby, and boom, just change. Just change. Don't want to be with you no more, and you on child support for 18 damn years. Sometimes more if the kid go to college. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like we were saying, a lot of the red flags tend to show up little by little throughout the relationship. Due to the fact that it's so little, people tend to ignore it. But guess what? When you do, get married or, get into a situation where you guys are actually serious and these red flags are, showing up more and more, that's kind of your fault. To be honest with you.
It is your fault.
Because the red flags is to warn you that this person may not really be for you, but you ignore it. A lot of the times your family...
Looking at that pussy.
That too. You're kind of blinded. A lot of times your family can see that person and tell you, hey, maybe that person is not for you. Because I know your personality and this person doesn't seem to match your personality at all. But you tend to ignore your family members or your friends, and you still get with that person, and guess what? They were kind of right.
Absolutely.
You've been ignored. You've been blinded.
Absolutely.
A lot of times we're blinded by the physical, by the honeymoon phase where everything is really nice.
Absolutely.
And good, and you just want to just be with that person or enjoy that person's company, the sex, everything that they offer.
And y'all blinded.
And we tend to fall into a relationship or a deeper issue, marriage and babies, with these red flags.
Yeah, and we're not talking about natural birth control. Please don't get off the topic. You want to talk about that, you can do a consult with me. But somebody said, what if you get a girl and then you find out she's been with half the city? Are you in a relationship with her or are you married to her? Because if you're in a relationship with her, you cut her ass off because she has half the city damn spirits in her. You're going to have to call Ghostbusters to get all them damn spirits out of her. You know what I'm saying? Who you going to call? You're going to have to slide one of them things right in her vagina. And you're going to see all the spirits just flow into the machine. You feel me? So
yeah, that's not the best thing to get into.
Yeah, so when you got a woman and you know she been with half the city, well, you know she has half the city's spirits in her, and one of them spirits is going to come out with her.
Right.
It's going to come out of her.
But not only spirits, you're talking about possible STDs as well.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. That's another kind of that's another kind of damage. That's a whole nother kind. We haven't even gotten to those. Let's keep the spirits there, and we're going to the STDs.
Yes.
That's a whole nother topic right there.
Right.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? So if you're with a woman, or you're with a man, and you find out that this person was with a lot of people, don't be afraid to get tested.
Please.
Don't be afraid to do a background check as far as who this person has been with. You need to ask around. Look at their Facebook. Look at their Instagram and scroll through the timeline.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes you won't be able to find it because every time they break up with somebody, they delete the pictures. Like, I've seen several people on Instagram and Facebook that they're in love, and then before you know it, they with another dude. Like I thought she was about to get married.
Yeah.
And then she with another guy, like 2 months later or whatever. You know, so sometimes you have to do a background check. And if you feel like, sometimes y'all feel like there's something about that person, you must listen to your gut. Because your gut, it's always say it's in my gut, your gut is your first brain. And because your first brain is telling you, yo, this person's a whore, or this person is not to be trusted, you need to listen to your gut. Because if you make that, like, you think about the consequences of making a mistake. When you make a mistake with somebody, when you have been shown a little bit of signs, and then you get into that thing and you're like, yo, I wish I would have just done it. Don't be that person. There's a lot of fish in the sea. Because this person gives a bunch of great sex and all has a good conversation, doesn't mean that's the only person that can give good sex and have a good conversation.
Right.
So in this day and time, you must be even more cautious than you were before, because we have an all-time high of people who were born without parents to teach them how to have morals, how to have values, how to act in relationships, what their role is in a relationship,
right.
or even they didn't even see it. Sometimes a parent cannot even teach you, but they're still teaching you, because as children, we were watching our parents of how they were. Let me give you an example. I am damaged when it comes to giving affection. I am damaged because I never saw that too much coming up. So psychologically, subconsciously, I put that back where I don't like to, hold hands or like kiss. I'm not like a kissy kind of guy, and she's not a kissy kind of girl.
Right.
But we kind of work together. We kiss when it's time. You know what I mean? But we not like, oh baby, let me rub your feet, let me kiss on your neck, let me tell you I love you. Like, we ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? Because she never seen a man. She never seen a man do that to her mom. And I didn't see much of that going on in my household, too much of affection.
Yeah.
And my dad was also like that as well, because, his dad was very hard and he didn't do it, and vice versa. So when it comes down to it, I'm damaged to that point, but that damage is enough to work with or to teach, because that person has to come to the conclusion like, yo, I need to probably give more affection. I have to start to rebuild my psychological building inside of my head, my subconscious mind, so I can remember, okay, I'm supposed to, okay, this is wrong if I'm not, okay, these things. But this is like, it's embedded into us. It's like a program in a computer, and it's embedded into our minds, where we don't even know that we're doing something wrong. So when that person doesn't come to the conclusion that they're damaged, then it's going to be very tough to work with that person.
And you...
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah,
now I was going to say...
You good.
I was going to say, this day and age, a lot of people who are damaged, they tend to slip the cracks. The only way you're going to realize somebody's damaged is if you talk to them constantly, face to face. Now, due to the fact that there's a lot of texting relationships or Netflix and chill relationships where you don't really talk to the person, you just pretty much text each other, how you doing, what you doing, come over, let's Netflix and chill. People don't get a chance to have full-on conversations where they can ask these real questions to pretty much decipher if a person is damaged or not.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm elaborating that.
Back in the day, due to the fact that there wasn't much, social media, texting and all that stuff, people actually came together face to face
to interact.
Sometimes you
realize... that's huge. That's big.
Yeah, sometimes you realize that, even though you guys may be compatible, with conversation, you may not be compatible with that person's spirit as well.
Someone said in the exorcism.
So I feel like these days it's difficult, pinpointing if the person is damaged due to the fact that we have texting and all that stuff. That was my point.
Okay, so here's the problem with our day and time. We're not forced, but we're taught that non-physical connections, as far as conversations up close and personal. Do you realize how many people have gotten married or fall in love in text, because it forces you not to think on the go, or not to give up too much of yourself. Texting, social media relationships are very tough to maintain, or very tough to find the telltale signs, because you're not able to see how a person truly interacts in person. You can have literally, if you literally took your texts from a person, right, and you literally put them in your mouth, your whole conversation would last less than 2 minutes. So if you look at your texting, like you just scroll and you scroll and you scroll and you scroll and you scroll, right? And if you put these words in your mouth when you're in front of that person, and put this person's text words in your mouth when they're in front of you, that conversation is about 5 minutes.
Not to mention the awkward silence.
Yes. So we don't even know how to interact anymore verbally in front of each other because of all this stuff. So if I was you, young man or old man or woman, I would get to know the person by putting the fucking phone down.
Yes.
And let's see what the hell is in your mind. Because a lot of y'all dudes get with these superficial ass women who got this nice booty, but nothing in her brain.
So sad.
Nothing in her brain. Vagina is on point, but she can't have a conversation. And then when you get with her after maybe 6 months, you like really committed to her, or you want to marry to her super fast, you're like, yo, this broad can't even have a conversation because now the freaking honeymoon stage is out the door, and now we have to be forced to truly interact and find out who we really are. Because you didn't do it, now you're stuck into a marriage. Now she may be pregnant, and you're finding out, yo, this chick here is not the one for me, but I got my damn seed in her now. Or you're finding out this guy is an idiot, and I freaking committed to him, and I moved in with this fool, and this guy can't even he can't even balance the checkbook. He can't even balance his numbers. He can't even handle his business because you were so into what he was into, what he probably had right now, but you didn't ask him about, yo, what's your credit score?
Yeah, a lot of people fail to ask these questions.
Yep.
They move too fast.
Yep.
I would say take a very long time.
Yep.
Just being somebody's friend.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting to know the person.
Yep.
So that you can decipher if this person just could stay in the friend zone or you can move on to the next level with them.
And I think in this day and this time, you should practice abstinence because people are giving it up too easily.
Easy.
And you know when you have sex with somebody, everything changes right away.
Yes.
Everything changes right away.
The level of respect.
It's not about respect.
A lot of men
sometimes
disrespect the woman when she gives it up so fast.
Because we know. I mean, okay, then if you gave it up to me this fast, who else are you giving it up to this fast? That's what I'm thinking.
And
you know what I'm saying?
He was the only one that she gave it up fast too.
He don't know now.
He don't know.
But still, I think that also it changes things because then it turns a relationship. Say sex is good. Yeah. It turns a relationship to be just about sex. And now we're not talking anymore. All we're doing is having sex.
And it's funny because, the woman tends to get too emotionally attached.
Well, because
this man.
Because my spirit's in her now.
Not to mention, she gets too emotionally attached to this man. She don't even know anything about. You see what I'm saying? She don't know anything about him due to the fact that she didn't have conversation with him in the beginning. Yeah, she just jumped straight into the sex.
Yeah, and that's a problem. So I don't think a lot of y'all are asking questions, the right questions, or to try to. You have to literally guard your life with you have to guard your life with your choices. You have to literally find out what is in somebody's head, and if you don't know, you got to open up a damn book and find out. Like there's books out here how to tell somebody's damage. There's books out here to try to tell how to see psychological trauma. There is things out here, but the problem is the average person only reads one book a year, and now I think that's even telling. That's actually saying too much. So because a lot of us out here are not educating ourselves on what to look for, we're rushing and we're making bad decisions, and now where a lot of us are in marriages where we're like, all right, a divorce is gonna cost a lot of money. Can I deal with this person? This person's sucking life out of me, and now I got kids with this person, and now my kids are seeing all this stuff, so my kids are probably gonna have some issues in the relationships as well, just from your decision that you made when it comes down to it.
Out of lust.
Out of lust and out of
desperation, I guess.
Impulsiveness.
Yes.
You were impulsive. You made a decision based off of feelings and emotions. And a lot of you gotta stop living off of your feelings and emotions because that's a weakness when you cannot use logic and judgment because feelings and emotions will, hinder you from thinking logical and thinking from a standpoint where you have to look at somebody for who they are inside, not who they are outside. A lot of y'all look at the material thing. That's all Instagram damn near is. You scroll, you just type in big booty and you'll find 17 million women who are showing their big booty. So they're already showing you right there off the rip that that's not your wife.
Right.
She ain't your wife. If you at a club with somebody, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to meet your wife at a club. All right? You meet your wife somewhere else. All right? But a club is not the place to meet your wife. And a club is not a place to meet your husband because you're probably drinking, your mind is already skewed, and all you're thinking about is getting some pussy. You know what I mean? So, you got to realize these things and you got to know what to look for.
And honestly, women need to respect themselves. A lot of the times people are saying these days that, a woman can, wear anything and you know, she will be okay because it's her body. But you know, you have to think about it. The man is looking at you as a sex object now. He's not thinking about you to get to know you. He's thinking about you to get you in bed.
Well,
that hinders a lot of people from getting into quality relationships.
Well, let's be real. A man's gonna look at you to like a woman is attractive for a certain reason. A woman look a certain way with a certain characteristics of their body to get a man, to attract a man. So if you're not going to look that kind of way to make me sexually attractive to you, I'm not going to talk to you, because men aren't thinking, oh, I want to know what's in her mind. Please put your clothes on. Please cover up. Cover up. Oh my God, this voluptuous breast. I don't want that. No, men aren't thinking like that.
At least be classy about it.
Yeah. That's a good part, because if I see a woman out in public and another thing, damaged, another kind of damage, she literally is fishing when she's out there half naked. She's fishing and she wants to catch all this fish, because if you have your eyes on her, how many other guys have their eyes on her? You don't never see my wife with a shirt showing her breast. Barely, not probably one picture on Instagram ever where she showed her abs or showing her booty to try to get views. You feel me?
I have one ab picture.
Of your booty?
No, ab picture.
Yeah, you had one ab picture on all of Instagram. I don't want a person who is out there trying to catch all that fish, because women are approached much more than men. You can be Denzel, well, no, I'm not. That's a bad analogy. You can be just somebody that's really fit in the streets, and women won't approach you like a ugly chick will get approached by men, like real rap. All you gotta do is have an ass nowadays, and you got men all up your booty all the time, because all they want to do is smash. Now, a woman coming outside, if I'm like dating a woman, I'm like looking at a woman and she's showing her breast all out, and she got the short ass skirt and her booty's all out, and she my woman, I'm like, well, if you are already with somebody, who are you trying to catch? Now, it's a good thing about looking good when you go out. You can look good, but y'all know the difference between looking good and looking whorish.
Yes.
There's a difference. And the damage in her mind, she thinks that it's supposed to be normal.
I got you, pizza.
That's supposed to be normal. That's not normal. And if you're a man and you got your woman like that, don't expect her to change for you. You think that she's going to change for you when she be doing this for all these years? She's comfortable now.
Right.
She likes getting compliments. She feels like that's her validation.
You didn't demand, any better from her, so why would she respect you at that point?
But why'd you choose her anyway? Because you caught her while she was trying to catch all these other fish.
Right.
Now, women are beautiful in their own nature, but they don't have to be out there half freaking naked in a damn bikini at Wawa. They're trying to catch another man. And if I'm with a woman and she's still doing that, that is letting me know that this is a problem. And she's damaged, because if I tell her, she's going to look at me like like I'm crazy, because my dumb ass committed to her like that. I got her like that. Why would she change for me? You feel me? I don't know if you have a man perspective with that, but just going to keep it a buck. Probably not. It's probably because men don't really. They don't really do that too much. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm gonna touch base on what Pizza Slice.
Go ahead.
You guys spoke about people who can't self-reflect and blame others for their mistakes/issues. What about the other extreme? People who reflect too much and don't take action because of it.
So they look at themselves and don't take action?
Yeah, they look at themselves too much, but they just don't take action.
That's narcissistic. That's narcissistic.
Right.
So they're looking. So you're basically saying they're looking at themselves, saying what they are, but they're not doing nothing about it.
Because they don't think it's a problem.
But they're reflecting though, so
they're reflecting. So
So I don't understand that question.
Yeah.
But they seem to be reflecting, but they're not doing shit about it. That's what I take from it.
Yeah.
What do you do with those people? Are you in a relationship with that person, or are you married? Right. It's always different when you're married, because marriage costs money to get out of. Relationships cost nothing but probably moving your top drawer, your bottom drawer, your drawers. It's a difference. So if you're married, I can give the marriage perspective, and I can give the relationship perspective. If a person is understanding that, I know I'm a little crazy. I know I just hit you with a bottle yesterday, but I'm not crazy today, and I'm working on it every day. And then 30 seconds later, you hit me with another bottle. I'm getting the hell out of there. Because if a person understands and knows that they're crazy and they're not doing nothing about it, but they keep on saying they are, I'm not going to sit around and wait to get hit in the head with a bottle again. I'm going to save my time and my energy, and I'm going to dip right now. And you got to have to heal yourself. Because you're not going to damage me from me staying with you, trying to work with this, but it's hurting me in the long run. And to the point where you're all better, but I'm all messed up now.
That's a good point, babe. Sometimes it's weird. Sometimes, being in a relationship, it's hard for somebody to fix themselves. Sometimes people need to be alone to be able to fix themselves. So maybe you might have to, let that person have time away alone so that they can have time to, reflect and evaluate and really get time to fix themselves.
But if you're in a relationship with that person, there's kind of like, time alone might as well be a breakup.
Some people break up and they get back together and they're better off.
Yeah, they are.
Because
they got to work on themselves. He said that what I was getting at is reflecting to the point where you know exactly who you are. You know that you're different from what is normal in the rest of the world, and you choose not to participate. That's not about being damaged. That's about knowing you're different.
Yeah.
I've chosen not to participate in many things that happen in the world. I participate in my own world now. And you're welcome to my world. This is my world. I don't choose to participate in all the things that the people are worried about daily. I choose to understand that this is my life. This is my show, and I am going to move in my show. And I realize that I'm not like everybody else, and you have to be comfortable with that. Realize that. So you have to first love yourself. That person has to love themselves. And if they're different, they're different. But I'm not talking about different good. I'm talking about different bad. Like you're like okay, I get out my car and I walk in my house. You get out your car and you walk around you walk inside somebody else's house. Like that's crazy. Like you get out your car and you walk next door and you just open the door and walk in. That's nuts. Crazy analogy, but I'm just being real. Like, it's good different, it's bad different. The one you reflected on was a good different.
Yes.
And yeah, you're gonna be very lonely. Yeah, listen. Being lonely is not a bad thing. Right. A lot of y'all actually probably need to isolate.
You need to, in order to find yourself and learn to love yourself. That time alone is gonna help you learn to love yourself.
Somebody might say, well, what do I do? What do I do? Do something. Start somewhere. I don't know. You're different than me.
I honestly suggest, do self-development books. It helps.
They may work for you. They didn't work for me too much.
It didn't work for you?
Nah, it didn't work for me. I had to move to the spirit.
Right.
I moved to spirit books. Self-development books really didn't work for me too much. I moved to the spirit side of me, and I did meditation. Right. Quiet my mind, because sometimes people quiet their mind. They realize they stop thinking, and they can kind of take a brain break too much, because sometimes people are overthinking. I found that YouTube is very, very informational. YouTube is we have YouTube nowadays, so that's very informational. But I always start with the spirit, because the spirit is your higher self, and if you start to invoke your higher self, your spirit, your higher self, which has been here for a very long time, which is infinite, will already tell you what to do. So you must quiet your mind and invoke the higher self in you, and you'll know what to do. Right now, you've been moving through the lower self, so you're clueless, because your lower self doesn't know how to, without being stimulated by every external influence, how to function. But your higher self already has all the answers. So you have to quiet your mind, invoke your spirit, and ask your higher self, and normally the answer will come. That's how it worked for me. That's how it worked for me. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
you know what I mean?
I understand where you're coming from. I definitely understand where you're coming from. Now, I know some damaged people, tend to deal with physical abuse. Now, this is a deeper part of the subject. If you feel like you're getting abused, if you know you're getting abused physically and you feel unsafe, definitely there are places that you can call to help you escape the situation that you're in. Man, that's a different story.
Call on the Most High. Call on the Most High.
If you're getting physically abused, a lot of people, just leave.
Leave.
But some people who are getting physically abused are afraid to leave. They're just not afraid.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's another form of, you know, dealing with a damaged partner. That damaged partner, that's one of the telltale signs, you know, they're aggressive.
That's
they're
true.
Aggressive.
No. I agree. That is very true.
Yeah.
Now, something King Kirby said that I feel like should be highly elaborated on because this is so far from the truth. He said, man should not be alone. That's why the Most High created woman. A man is no good to a woman, King Kirby, if that man is not stable in his mind, if that man is not stable in his finances, if that man is not stable in his life. I think a man, because I was that man who always had a woman, never ever got my shit together because I always had a damn woman I had to take care of. And if a man is never alone to know who he is, to get himself straight, that woman's probably going to wind up taking care of that man. Yes, God, the Most High, created woman, but you need to be a man in a good mental space to even be able to teach that woman. Because if you're a man and you're never alone, but you never sit back and know who you are and develop yourself, what kind of jewels do you have to teach that woman? Who kind of man are you to be led? I mean, to be followed? A woman, okay, he created a woman, right? Cool. The woman's supposed to follow you, right? You're supposed to be her leader, but you don't know anything because you've always had one. So you've never worked on yourself. Doesn't make any sense to me. A man needs to know who he is first, get his shit together, get his finances together, get his own spot, get his mind together, understand who he is, what he's here to do. And he can start to understand that when he gets with a woman as far as what he's here to do. But he needs to have his mind straight first before he can go ahead and get a woman. Because I think a lot of guys get with women without doing all those steps. And they come to find out that they're so unstable, they'll create even more damage inside the woman because you force her to take care of you. So you're psychologically damaging her, having her step out of her element in her role, creating an imbalance in her psychological mindset, taking care of your ass because you didn't sit by yourself and get your shit together. So I think that's more good. Yeah, Most High did make women for man, but not man in this state. These men are in this time. Yeah. See, back then, when the Most High created a woman, men had other men teaching them how to be men. Kids were working in the fields or in masonry or whatever their dad was doing from a young age, so they already knew when it was time to come, when I get my beard or get my facial hair and I have a woman, I already can take care of her. I can already hunt for her. I can already hunt for myself. I can protect her because their father taught them all them things. Fathers ain't around like they used to, so they can't teach them nothing. So these men are walking around following other men that are walking around all blind, fucking up these women. So I think that's so freaking wrong. So there you go.
That is wrong.
Yeah.
That definitely is wrong.
Yeah. Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. The man follows the scriptures, the woman. Yeah, but if so when a man's by himself, you know, he can sit back and he can read. But if he has a woman, he got to take care of all the time, and he hasn't figured himself out. You know what I'm saying? He can't. He doesn't deserve a woman. All men don't deserve a woman right now, until they have earned it. Because if you want to go in the scriptures and follow the scriptures, a man did not get a woman unless he earned a certain status, a certain age. He didn't get the woman yet. The father of the woman wasn't going to give her to the man unless that man could take care of her, because marriage was a passive ownership. So when the man when the father gives the daughter, which is his property, to the husband, and that woman takes on his last name, that is a transference of ownership. And that father gives her away because he trusts in this man to take care of that woman. These men nowadays don't have the ability to hunt, to fish for themselves, to be a leader, and to protect these women. So how the hell do you deserve her?
Hence why a lot of these women tend to want to take on the masculine energy or the masculine role, because of these type of men that keep coming to them.
Yeah.
They gotta protect themselves.
Yeah.
You know, that's the mind. That's why the mindset of women became so much more powerful these days.
Yep.
Stern.
How far will you go for the culture of today? I don't get that question too much.
Yeah, that's a different story.
Yeah, start reading some of these questions off too.
Now, somebody basically said damaged people, and another person wanted them to.
That's a fact. Hurt people. That's a fact. Hurt people, hurt people.
I remember when I was hurt, by a previous relationship, I ended up kind of doing what the person did to me to other people. It's so strange because that's not my character. But then again, I guess, that comes into play where the DNA, goes into a person.
Yeah.
You end up embodying that person's
Yeah, you embody
spirit.
that person's spirit.
Yes.
Because that person put their spirit in you.
Yes.
They're teaching you through their spirit and their actual actions of how to be.
Right.
Until you already are that person, and then you're like, oh, finally got the relationship, yeah. And then you're another one, and then you're like, yo, didn't you say your ex-boyfriend did that to you? Then you're doing it to me?
Mm-hmm.
Fucked up. You know? But you wasn't with that person long enough before you actually committed, and you got married to that person, and you stuck like Chuck. You got to pay all this kind of stuff, and alimony, and you got to deal with kids, so you got to pay child support too. Just all because you couldn't, make a decision.
Right.
A right decision. So I hope that a lot of y'all that have kids, sons and daughters, are teaching them or how to be. And if you're not, I think it start to teach like, oh my God, they're too young. Oh my God. No, because
they need to learn.
Let's keep it a buck. How much access do our kids nowadays have to the internet?
A lot.
They can remember back in the day when we were kids, to look at the porn station, we had to look through like the static. Oh, she has a TV. Like that was our time. They guarded us, like TV guarded us from seeing certain things. TV doesn't guard our kids from seeing anything, which means that you must counteract that realness that TV gives our kids and give them equal realness about the life they're about to go on to face.
Right.
Because as I tell my sons, you're dealing with a whole different breed of women than I have ever imagined dealing with. Ever even imagine existing, because now you're dealing with GMO women. The women I grew up with, they got bad when they got older. They became GMO women. But the women next, whoo! Because they're born into that women want to, like I had this guy hit me up and say, yeah, my wife, me and my wife has an ongoing battle because she wants my role. She wants to be the man. Yeah. And she's trying to force me to be the woman. She told me to work from home and take care of the kids while she get all the money. And she want me to be okay with that. She be trying to tell me what to do all the time. And, now she's starting to hit me and all these things. I'm like, bruh, this is crazy,
See?
So the world our kids are going to grow up in is the world that tells our sexes that this is not what you're supposed to be. Even if you feel it in your soul, even if you're designed for it, they're telling you, now society's telling you your design is wrong. It's okay to do this. It's okay to be that. It's okay to whatever. Certain things I get, but certain things are just ungodly. The amount of access they have to our children, and because they have that access, you have to go. You have to be a little bit more real than you want to be a lot earlier than you used to be, because of how much access they have to our kids' subconscious. Somebody's like, well, you being too real with your sons. My sons can literally go on YouTube and find something 10 times realer than me. My sons can go in school and they can see two little, I'm not even gonna get into that, but they can see all kinds of stuff in school and that they shouldn't be seeing at this age. So because my kids have all this access to all this unnatural stuff, all this behavior, all these lies and this bullshit and this false propaganda, I have to counteract my kids with the dead, honest truth, no matter how much it hurts them, so they won't be damaged to believe something is what it ain't. You feel me?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now we gotta also start getting into how can two a couple heal from their damage. But before that, I'm gonna say what this person said. Say a man, Peter Slice said, say a man had an abusive mother that affected his relationships with all women as he got older. How does he go about forgiving his mother in order to improve his perspective on the female gender?
Okay. This is something I have to teach my boys.
Yeah.
The mom abused him, right? Now, abuse is also neglect as well.
Yeah, it could be verbal neglect and physical as well.
Because emotional.
Yeah.
Well, neglect is abuse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How does he? Okay. So first he has to forgive his mom, whether he tells her or not.
Right.
But sometimes the man or the girl can't forgive the mom.
Right.
Because you'll never forget what all the years. So that person is going to have to come to terms they missed this time with this person, or this person abused them. And sometimes you got to kind of forgive yourself for not forgiving that person and just keeping it moving in life and just never talk to that person again. Now, you have to be very careful with your heart, because that young man's heart is very sensitive because of the hurt the mother gave. So you have to be very cautious of what kind of woman you're choosing. And you have to take a lot of time, even more time than another man, to evaluate these women, because if another woman breaks your heart, then you might be ruined for a very, 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 very long time. Because it's kind of proving your it's proving your subconscious case, right? Like, this is why I don't trust women, because if you do such, and then you don't evaluate the woman properly, and she does such and such and such, you're like, now I'll never trust another woman ever again for the rest of my life. Now I'm going to just be a damn succubus. I'm going to be a whoremonger. I'm just going to smash all these girls. I'm going to break their hearts. And then you're going to wind up damaging somebody else, because you're damaged. Now you want to damage somebody else. You want to inflict your inner turmoil on somebody else, right, to make you feel better. It's like, I'm going to get revenge on every other woman ever that ever existed because of what these two women or my mom did to me. And I have to get this into my kid's head that what she has done, that she has left you for all this time, is not your fault. And all women aren't like her. And it's going to be very difficult for them to understand that. If I keep on telling them over and over again, they'll soon believe that I'm right if they find one. But I have to teach them what to find and what to look for when they find one. You know, don't just go trusting everybody. You already learned that. The first person you're supposed to trust did you dirty. So you can't trust everybody. But you got to protect your heart. You got to have a damn freaking lead barrier over your heart until you're ready to pull that bad boy off. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the best advice I got for you on that one. What else?
Now, somebody said, Coach, what's the best thing to do to help my partner raise her self-esteem and help her take action on the things she knows she needs to work on, but fails to follow through?
You got to keep on being patient. I'm not sure what your patience level is, but you have to continue to be patient with her. Tell her what to do. Yeah. And if she's not doing it, there's not much else you can do, because you can't change a person that doesn't want to be changed. You can't heal a person that's not ready to be healed. You can give them the steps it takes. You can be along with them along the way. You can be patient with them, but sometimes a person won't be able to change until you dip. Like, now they'll change. Yeah. But if you feel like it's taking a lot of stress on you and it's pulling a lot out of your spirit, you must first protect your spirit and then protect everybody else, because you cannot pour into her from an empty cup. You basically just pours your cup into her glass, and then her glass is full, and she's still dumping her shit out, but you have nothing left to give, and then you're resentful, and you're angry, and you're damaged. So now you're damaged because of all the patience that you've been giving her.
She definitely has to be the one to want to actually change. And honestly, sometimes you gotta just leave her be. Just leave her be. If she can't change, like Mr. In10sity said, just leave. Indeed.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
She has to want to change.
She has to want to change within herself. I
know when people try to tend to tell you negative things about yourself, you kind of put up a wall after a particular while, as a defense.
Yeah, you do.
You don't think you're wrong. Like, maybe not.
Where you don't hear it.
You don't want to hear it after a while, especially if they continuously telling you, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this is one of your faults, this is one of your faults. After a while, that person shuts down so much that they think it's more than likely your fault, or just you being crazy.
Yep. Yeah, that's a big one. So sometimes damaged people can literally think that you're the one that's damaged because you see the damage in them. But you have gotten your spirit focus, you have insight, you have foresight, you can see all these things, you can see within a person. Sometimes you can see within a person so much they can't see nothing you're talking about, but it's all there. And you got to keep on pointing it out in a very tactful way.
Very tactful.
You can't scream at them. You can't meet them at their level. You have to meet them at a higher level so you can kind of get them to your higher level. So you got to kind of suggest nicely. And if you feel like that's not working, you have to reevaluate your current situation to see if you want to stay or go. Because some of y'all are going to have to go. Some of y'all are going to have to go to save yourself. Otherwise, if you want to say, well, I got married under God and I have to do it. Okay, go ahead and kill your soul if you want to.
A lot of the times, you know, when you're forcing people to change, you're gonna end up hurting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because that person may not change.
Mm-hmm.
It's just who the person is.
Yep. So I mean, if you wanna, you know, you also must love yourself first before you can love anybody else. And if you want to go ahead and kill your spirit and kill your soul and turn yourself dark because you have made a commitment to somebody that is killing you, then you go ahead and jump off that damn bridge with them. But I can tell you this one thing, the way that I live, there is nobody that's going to take my happiness that I deserve from me. But if you have low self-esteem, or that person can kill your self-esteem because they keep on punching you and pushing you down and down because you're trying to be patient with this person, and because you don't have any boundaries of what this person can do, they'll keep on doing it, and it can kill your self-esteem. And then it gets lower and lower and lower where you feel like it's okay, yeah, it's just the way it is. It went from I want to help you and change you to it's okay, that person's just, you know, whooping my ass or calling me an asshole, and they're damaged and they just don't trust me, and they're all over me, and they're doing whatever they do to hurt you because they're damaged. Now it's sucking life energy out of you and it's changing you into a whole other person. And because you didn't have those boundaries that you're supposed to have over yourself, because you're supposed to love yourself first, you know, then you're like, I hate my life, I'm miserable, when you could have literally gave that person space or left so that person can find themselves or not, but you know you're going to find yourself, and then you're wasting, say, 10, 15, 20 years with the person you shouldn't be with when you could have found that person that you should have been with a long time ago.
Also, you know, I guess I would say find a third party, like a therapist. A therapist will help you, you know, communicate your feelings to each other better when it comes to a situation like that.
Mm-hmm.
If a person, if your spouse or your partner can't see, you know, what you're trying to explain to them, maybe they may better hear it from somebody else, what you're trying to express to them.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah, sometimes that person has heard it from you for a certain amount of time that they cannot hear you anymore because it's coming from one person. And maybe they don't feel like your perspective is good because you're the only one saying it. Now, my thing is like, maybe I'm the only one saying because I live with you right now and I can see you for who you are. The person that you are when you leave the house is somebody else that you create for everybody else to accept you. The person that you are inside of a house is the person that you actually are. So how can these people that you want to agree with you, you know, like you said, you want to ask people like, am I this, am I that? But they've never seen this side of you. So how could they ever agree with you, you know what I mean, that you're this person? You have put on a freaking facade for everybody outside the house. You're real when you're in the house. You put on a facade for when you're out the house. So you maybe get in front of a person or let this person see certain things where they can see who they really are. Then they'll start to say, oh, damn, I did do that. Damn, that was really me? Wow, for real? And then they may come to epiphany, but somebody else that really knows them has to see or really hears both sides of the story can evaluate that properly to be able to help this person. So sometimes all a person needs to be able to do is see that they're causing, that they're damaged. See why, see how, see what they're doing from somebody else. And then they'll start to say, damn. And then they'll probably look at their spouse or their partner like, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that's what's causing the inconsistency in them wanting to change as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't see anything wrong with what they're doing.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Somebody asked, how would you suggest we people into a way of thinking for one another as one another is who you are?
I don't make any sense. How would you suggest we people into a way of thinking for one another as one another is who you are? Okay, so you're like, okay, I get what you're trying to say. So you're trying to think like, okay, you want to say, how do we get into the state of saying this person is a reflection of me, right? Probably. Like this person is another version of me. This person it comes from the same glass that I come from, just from another part of the glass, right? Yes, I'm already like that. That's how you already have to be spiritually.
Right.
But if that person is taking what they are and they're putting it into you, but you're not putting none of your goodness into that person, then that person is going to damage you. So my mindset is like this. I treat my wife as I wish somebody treated me or how I want to be treated.
Right.
So if I feel like my wife is damaged or doing something wrong or that she doesn't know, I come at her in a way where I wish somebody would have came at me. Because I'm looking at her as a reflection of me. So if she does something that she doesn't understand, I'm like, yo, that was kind of fucked up.
And I own up to it.
But I have to break it down in a way where I'm not screaming and yelling at her. I'm sitting here talking to her, explaining, this is what you did.
Right.
This is how I feel about what you did.
Right.
Let's look at why you did this. And sometimes she was like, damn, I didn't even know. Like,
yeah.
I didn't because she's damaged, I'm damaged.
Yep.
So when I'm going over things, because I can see inside, because my spiritual abilities are so in depth, like, and so out there, I can see a lot of things that I never would have saw 2 years ago. And the way I explain it to her is a way that I wish somebody would explain it to me if it was my issue. Like, to get them to see it to a point where they reflect on themselves instead of looking at somebody just yelling at them. A lot of y'all will handle a damaged person just by yelling at them.
And people don't receive it like that at all.
Close off from it.
Close off, like defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? Somebody said, I hear you, but then she acts like a child. Now, sometimes that can happen as well. And listen, I get it. No, I get it. I really do. But you have to really talk to her like she's a child. Not in a way where you're demeaning her.
Right.
You have to be in a way where you have to explain it to her on a third grade level where she'll understand it. If she's a child right now, you have to explain it to her a way she can't take it as an adult. She's not mentally there yet. So she's going to outburst like a child. You have to be the adult and maintain calmness. Maintain your tone. But if you meet her where she's trying to get you to meet her, nobody wins. So at that point, you have to pull something more out of yourself if you actually want her to change. If you actually want her to change, you're going to have to change the way you approach her.
He said he doesn't yell at her.
He explains it to her probably.
He explains it to her. He said he's on leaving terms right now as it stands.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean...
Yeah, I hear you're right, but it's so difficult because she makes me feel as if I can't really explain it. I get it. But you have to realize that some women just ain't going to change. I mean, listen, sorry, I'm real. Sorry. Some people ain't going to just change. Some people will not hear you.
Especially as they get older. If you guys are an older couple,
set in their ways sometimes. Yeah.
They're pretty much set in their ways. A lot of the times, people go through their lives, acting a specific way. And here you comes. All right. Here you come. Telling them, oh, you're this and you're that, and it's like, but everybody else didn't say this. Why are you the only one that's saying this?
Yep.
Maybe it's your fault.
Yep.
Maybe it's you making me act like this.
Yep.
Maybe it's you hindering me, and so forth and so forth. So, it's. I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you.
I feel you 100%.
100%.
And sometimes I'm trying
to speak from her perspective as well too.
Yeah, sometimes you try to yo, this person I know this person is wrong. I know this person is acting like a crazy little kid. But this person is making me feel crazy for being sane. And, so I can get what you're talking about. But you have to search within yourself of how to deal with her or if she's even worth dealing with. Because some people will drive you so crazy, making you feel so crazy when you know for a fact you are sane. You know for a fact you're sane. I know I'm 100% right. And you making me feel like I'm crazy. You have to reevaluate your relationship to see how much you really want to deal with this.
Yeah.
And if you got to ask yourself a question. Am I willing to give everything I have to get this person better? And if I give everything I have and nothing is left and this person is not better, was it worth it?
Right.
And normally the answer is probably no. Because you're not willing to give her your all, your soul, and your life energy And if she doesn't still get better, like, damn, I just wasted my time, my energy, and now I'm all damaged too because I think every woman is crazy now. See what I'm saying?
So sad. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, definitely.
Somebody said, Raquel said, those kind of people will block your blessings. You won't have good luck.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically confirmed that, this person makes me feel crazy for being sane indeed.
Yeah. And also Ken Kirby said the best example is to be the example. Actions speak louder than words, and I get what he's talking about because actions do speak louder. You can't tell somebody to do something and you're not doing it. Do as I say, not as I do type thing. I get what you're talking about. But sometimes, Ken Kirby, if you are the example, that person doesn't see it because they're so damaged they can't see past themselves. So yes, being the example does work in some cases, but also being the example doesn't work in some cases. So.
Not to mention, being an example kind of makes somebody feel kind of inferior, depending on how good or what type of example you're trying to set. So
somebody said, I need to go, I think, but I'm not that weak guy.
Yeah,
being the weak guy, you said, so you think to
staying
go, staying is weak? He says staying is weak?
Yeah, I need to go, I think, but I'm not that weak. Oh,
I don't know. Maybe
sure
is he saying is he weak? Is he weak for going or weak for staying? I don't know. Yeah. So somebody said actions speak louder than words, but then words. I'm sorry, but I'm not the one to judge people. But I live by my standards, and they are what they are. So-called high, they say. Yeah, I mean, listen, I get it. I can feel this guy's going through turmoil dealing with somebody who's just unreasonable and probably childish and all that stuff. And a lot of men are going through this because I talked to one of my family members this week. I talked to one of my best friends this week, and they're both going through various situations where they're dealing with somebody that they didn't even realize this person was who they were. Both of them are getting cheated on, and both of them are dealing with a woman who's actually physically abusing them as well, because they're trying to bring logic to these women, and these women are putting their hands on them because these men are calm, and they're trying to get a rise out of them. They're trying to bring these men down to their level, and both of these men, I told one of them, I said, you got to record this, so if she takes you to alimony, say she's abusing you. But both of these women are trying to bring them down, and both of these women are clearly damaged. And one of them was damaged before, and he got married too fast, and one of them has been married for 15 years, and this woman is showing her true colors now. He's finding out now after 15 years, so he's heartbroken and all this stuff like that. So I mean, this is real. We hit a lot of topics here in this video. I'm glad everybody tuned in with this video. Nobody called in, but I hope you get some heart to call in next time if you got something real to say. We're gonna keep on having these live streams with people calling in. Maybe it didn't work this one time, doesn't mean it's not gonna work. We'll try to get it, get it again later on. But in the meantime, we thank you for tuning in. And
yes, guys.
Absolutely, it's gonna be a very hard decision, but you're gonna have to evaluate thyself. If you understand thyself, you understand what you can put up with and what you can't put up with. But when you don't understand yourself, and you haven't, got to know yourself, you don't know what your boundaries are because you haven't gotten to know who you are. You haven't been alone to know who you are. So I think that's very important to deal with somebody, because once you get to love and respect yourself, you'll get to love your boundaries, and you'll get to, you won't let people disrespect you. Like the analogy, when you get in somebody's clean car, you don't want to disrespect it because they respect their stuff. But when you get in that dirty car, you won't mind if you had a piece of gum and you throw it on the ground because they don't respect their own stuff. Until you respect your stuff, nobody else is going to respect you.
Somebody asked if you got WhatsApp, I'll be calling on WhatsApp.
You can't just call, like, you guys schedule a consultation. We had calling in this video, but if you want to talk to me on the private end, you can schedule a consultation. You can't just call because I'm not picking up the phone. But go ahead.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
You are amazing. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
We hope this information, kind of brought light to you guys.
Yeah, definitely. We hope brought light to you guys. We hope you out in some situations.
Yes.
But besides that, I hope you guys enjoy your Saturday night.
Yes.
We're going to enjoy ours, and I want you to continue to evaluate yourself every single day, because as you put boundaries on yourself, you'll not let people overstep those boundaries. But you got to have boundaries. Always. But besides that, we're going to get up out of here. We love y'all. We're going to see y'all until the next video. Visit the website right below, IntensityFitnessUnited.com. Go grab something for shipping all weekend. See y'all soon. Peace.
Bye, guys.